What is up, everybody? It's your boy Seabass here, and we're here again today with just a couple of things I wanted to talk about. Normally, you'll see gaming on here, and we've started a Madden series. This week, I'm going to start a couple other series as well, so be looking up for that. It's not just going to be Madden, we got a couple other things. But today, what I want to do is I want to talk about something that's very important that's going on right now. The NFL playoffs. What an exciting weekend it was. Watching the playoffs happen as we're sitting there and we're just seeing everything that's going on. What a great weekend. We had a really big upset in my mind. But let's go through a lot of this. So, in the first round in the NFC, you had Tampa Bay beat Washington, in which Washington played really well and had an opportunity to win. Not only that, you had the Rams beat Seattle. I don't think a lot of people had faith in that, especially after finding out Jared Goff wasn't going to start. There was a chance that they didn't even want him to play, and if it wasn't for the backup getting hurt, he wouldn't have played. And then you have New Orleans beating Chicago, which sets us up in the NFC for another Tampa Bay versus New Orleans game. Tom Brady versus Drew Brees. One thing I will say in the NFL is that we put so much emphasis on the quarterback that we do forget that there's other players, and these are two really good teams. You got Drew Brees and Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara. Great players in Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas. And then some other weapons here and there with Jared Cook. And so, good team there. And then you got, with the Tampa Bay side of it, I mean, you got Mike Edwards, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Gronkowski. Even those that kind of have fallen off the map, and Leonard Fournette. But still very talented, as we saw last week with Leonard Fournette and his rushing of the ball. So I think that as you continue to go forward, you're going to see these teams lock up, and it's going to be an amazing matchup. The biggest thing I think that's going to be the difference is going to be defense. Which defensive team shows up for Tampa? And we already know that the defense for New Orleans is really good. So I believe that if Tampa's defense shows up, Tampa wins that game. If they don't show up, you're going to see what happened in the last time that they played, that I believe Tampa lost 35-3. So I don't know if it would be 3, but it would probably be like 42-28 or something like that. 42-21. It won't be a real shootout. If the defenses show up, I think you're looking maybe 24-21, 24-17, something like that. So now we go on to the other side. Well, LA is going to be playing Green Bay, which is, I think, another amazing game. There's a lot of injuries for LA, so it's going to be very interesting to see what Aaron Donald, going to be possibly out with a rib injury. Jared Goff, we still don't know if he's going to be able to start. Cooper Kupp got injured at the end of the game. I do think that it's leaning towards the Packers winning that game. Green Bay has a lot of skill players, a lot of good stuff on offense. Again, you got Aaron Rodgers, but even past that, you got Devontae Adams, which I believe is probably the best wide receiver in the league right now. And then you go even further than that, and you start looking at Aaron Jones. So I do believe that the Packers take that one. So then that would put us into the New Orleans Tampa Bay game. Again, I'm going to go on the side that Tampa Bay takes it. So then I think you're setting up with a Green Bay Tampa Bay conference championship. I think that Tampa Bay might be a little too hard to beat. And trust me, that is so hard for me to say. I don't like Brady. And it's nothing against Brady. I just, as a football player, I felt that he's been given all these things and all these accolades when he doesn't do what most quarterbacks do. And I believe that if you took the quarterbacks from the 80s and the Dan Marinos and the Joe Montanas, and you bring them to the John Elways to this day and age, that they would pass for thousands of more yards they would hold all the records. And Brady did a lot of in New England dink and dunk. So I don't think that he's as good of a quarterback as people make him out to be. But I do believe that he is a good quarterback. I'll even say he's a great quarterback. But GOAT status, you can argue, and I'm not going to argue with you, but I mean, it's just my feeling. I don't feel that he's there. So I do have Tampa Bay moving on with that. So go to the AFC. You have Kansas City versus Cleveland. What an amazing game. Cleveland beating Pittsburgh. Cleveland came out hot, and I was really worried about Cleveland. You know, their head coach was out of that game. I think it was said that they had 5 coaches that were out, and they still overcame that. That is an amazing story, and I think everybody loves Cleveland. You all want to see Cleveland succeed since it's been so long. Then you got Baltimore as they overcame Tennessee. Another good game. Their defense is stepping up. I think the Baltimore probably has the most underrated defense in the playoffs, and it'll be interesting to see. And then you had Buffalo beating Indianapolis. One thing I will say about Buffalo, I think they have, outside of Kansas City, the second best offense in football. Next week it'll be very interesting to see. I do have Buffalo beating Baltimore, and I have Kansas City beating Cleveland. With that, you're going to have Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen. When I look at that game, I ask myself this question. Who is the better quarterback? Or not quarterback, defense. Because they are both really good quarterbacks. My guess is that Buffalo is going to have the better defense and that they're going to show up. So I do not believe you're going to have a repeated Super Bowl with Kansas City. It'll be Buffalo versus Tampa Bay. In the Super Bowl, it becomes a big thing. You know, I live in Florida. I live really close to Tampa. You might say, well, why aren't you a Tampa fan? Why are you a Dolphins fan? You know, growing up, I just became a Dolphins fan. It was one of those things. All my life, I've been a Dolphins fan. And I have family that's Patriots fans. So, yeah, I don't like them. No, I'm just kidding. I love my family. But, so we look at that, and we start to really ask ourselves that question, what will happen in the Super Bowl? I think that you're going to have a Buffalo win over Tampa Bay. I think that Buffalo is going to do some amazing things, and that they are going to start to set themselves up. When I look at this Buffalo team, I think completeness, they're more complete than your Kansas City or your Tampa Bay or your New Orleans. Green Bay, I think that they still have a little bit of a ways to go to get to being more complete. But like I said, I think Buffalo's there. So that is my Super Bowl picks. I do have Buffalo winning the Super Bowl. But I want to talk about something else too. I've been reading a lot of rumors, and it's something that's circulating on a lot of Miami sites, something that's being talked about and debated amongst many Miami fans. Deshaun Watson. There is a rumor going around that's being spread right now that he is mad. I wouldn't say that that's a rumor. That's factual that he's mad. But there's a rumor going around that he wants out, and that he's willing to come to Miami. So Miami fans are really debating on whether we should trade Tua to go get a Deshaun Watson. I've even heard some fans saying that if we went and got Watson, it would put us back. I don't think that that's correct. I don't think that's true. I don't think going and getting Deshaun Watson is going to set us back any. Deshaun Watson is a proven NFL player. He had his best season overall last year. He is doing much better, and with limited weapons. I mean, you got to think they got rid of DeAndre Hopkins, and he still had his best season. So, I think bringing him to Miami and maybe putting another wide receiver around him with Gesicki and Parker, and then Preston Williams, I think will be an amazing thing. So, I've been torn about that rumor on what we would see and what I would want to see, but I will say this. The rumor is that it'll be Tua and our number 3 pick. I would not trade our our first pick in the draft, which is the third overall. If I was to trade a pick, it would be I would actually probably move to our first second round pick, and I think that you can make that happen. You might even have to go 2-4, but I think that there is enough need with that first pick, and especially if I believe his name is Panini Sewell is there. He's a once in a generation type prospect, and I think that he's worth grabbing. I know Dolphins fans will say, well, why do we need another offensive lineman? We drafted some last year. You could never have enough offensive linemen, and this is a pretty deep receiving class. Yes, once you get past your Jamar Chases and your Jalen Waddles and Devonta Smith, it seems like there's a little bit of a drop off, but it's not that much. I'm going to tell you right now, like Rashard Bateman, he is basically going to be your Justin Jefferson. So if you want another receiver that's really good, that's probably going to fall to the end of the first round, or at least around where our 18th pick is, or 18th pick, or second pick at the 18th spot, I think that he's, I think his name's Rashard Bateman, whatever it is. I think he's the guy there from Minnesota. So with that, guys, this is kind of my Dolphins knowledge, kind of where I feel. Leave in the comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about your Super Bowl. If you think that I'm completely wrong, or hey, if you think that it could happen. So with that, again, I want to thank you so much for choosing our channel, and I just want to wish you an excellent rest of your day. Peace.